3 powerful women, 3 different lives, and 3 lessons that I took home from each of these books. This one, this one, and this one. Hello and welcome to today's episode of Your Bookshelf, Your Future with me, Mildred Talabi. This is the channel where we talk about books. I share with you books that I've read and a few takeaways from them so you can improve your life one book at a time. Today we are talking about books from powerful female role models that I think you should definitely check out. The very first book by a strong woman called Strong Woman, and this is by Karren Brady. Now, you probably better know her as Baroness Karren Brady from The Apprentice, because this book, when was this book published? It was a really long time ago, because I got this book. I write inside of my books, I write when I bought them and when I read them. So September 2013 was when I actually bought and read this book. So it's been a long time. That was well over is that almost 15 years or so? I don't know. You do the maths. But this is a really good book. When I went to review this, I thought, let me check if she's had any more books out since then. And she hasn't, as far as I'm aware. I guess she's been busy on The Apprentice, right? This is her only autobiography to date, and it shares her journey from being a young woman who then enters the very male-dominated industry of football and ends up being chairman executive at a football club and really turning it over, and all the amazing things she does there. I love this book. I thought it was really great, really impressive. I'm always impressed by women who make a success of themselves in industries that are generally quite male dominated, because I know how tough that can be. That really inspired me. And at the time I thought, oh, I would love to own a football club. Who knows? Maybe in future. I remember some years after reading this book, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I was invited to speak at an event, a Christian women's conference, and she was also on the bill. So I kind of got to share the stage of her in a sense, not at the same time, but it was wonderful to see her there and to see her share some more of the values that she lived and talks about in this book, building her career and also building her family life at the same time. Because as women, we are often told that we can't have both, or that it's difficult to have both. And she talks about that struggle and how she managed to juggle both worlds. I think this is still worth reading, even though it's quite old now. If you're looking for a biography that's going to inspire you and maybe help you to think about what else you can achieve in your own life. Okay, so the second one is Becoming by Michelle Obama. So Karren's book taught me about success, how to navigate success. Becoming, Michelle Obama taught me about identity, kind of how to not build your identity, but how your identity grows with you as you grow and change as a woman. I love the title as well, Becoming, because it's something so many of us can relate to. I still feel like I'm becoming, each rendition of our lives, if you can call it that, we become someone different. So you're a different person as a teenager, as you are as a young woman, and maybe as you become a mother, or maybe in a workplace. So you become these different versions of yourself. And that's kind of the concept of what she shares with us in this book. Through her own life and her own story, we can see her becoming different people. I went to see her live when she came to London to do a book tour. If I'm inspired by somebody, I would like to see them live. I like to hear them as much as possible. So it was really great to be able to hear her talk about meeting Barack Obama, better known to you and I as the president of the United States, navigating some of her own challenges around her identity as a person outside of her identity as a first lady. Because sometimes if you have a partner who has a stronger persona, you can just be reduced to being somebody's wife, or if you have a child, you're somebody's mom. In school, at the school gates, you pretty much are reduced to being somebody's mom, right? Most people don't learn the names of the parents. It's so like, this is whoever's mom. I'm my children's mom at the school gates. I'm not Mildred, I'm my children's moms. So that's really interesting. But great book for identity and discovering who you are. And then the final one is this awesome book, Matriarch by Tina Knowles. Now, I did not know that I would enjoy this half as much as I did, but I absolutely love this book. I bought this in, when did I buy it? July 2025. So this one's the latest of all of them. I think it came out last year anyway. So I bought this because, again, in this version of myself as a mother of two girls, I could so relate to Tina Knowles. I was like, what is it like to raise two superstars? You know, she's raised Beyonce and Solange. You see with the likes of Beyonce, you're like, it's great, you're amazing, but I know there was someone behind this. I was very curious to hear, to meet the person behind the woman. Obviously, her dad is also involved, and Tina talks about this in the book. But I was really inspired by her own journey to becoming herself, and then also the role that she played in helping her daughters to become as they went on to become. This was such an interesting memoir. The vivid language and the way it's painted, the descriptions in there, the different characters you meet. I think this would make a really good movie as well. I love reading about her having her own hairdressing business and then her love for fashion design and how that went through her maternal side and passed on to her children, and how that showed up in the outfits that Destiny's Child won, later Beyonce, etc. Her relationship with Beyonce's dad, Matthew, and the ups and downs of that. It was just such an interesting book. It is well worth reading, if not for anything else, to kind of get an insight into the ordinary day-to-day life of one of our biggest superstars of our time in terms of Beyonce. So, three great books by three powerful women that I would absolutely recommend reading. Let me know which one of these three books interests you the most, which one of them you've read, which one of them you're thinking about reading, and share your thoughts and feedbacks in the comments. Until next time, I will see you in the next episode of Your Bookshelf, Your Future.